the feeling of, is this going to succeed? Is this going to be the thing I'm going to do for the rest of my life?
I shine so bright, you might go blind, blind, blind. When I walk through, they close their blinds. I'm gonna
YouTube, it's your girl Esther. Welcome back to my channel. If you're watching me for the first time, I'm very grateful to have you here. And if this is not the first time, thank you for thinking I'm important enough to listen to. Promise, it is not intentional that every time I come on here I'm trying to fix my hair or something. But something happened and I felt to talk about it on this channel that I plan to talk about every single thing. But yeah, I was having a conversation with a friend and it just randomly came up that I am in therapy and I consider therapy to be a very good or very great help tool in this day and age. And I got this look and I was like, I don't know if she knew she gave me the look, but she did give me a look, and I was like, girl, you never know what therapy is about until you try it. Have you tried it before to dismiss or to be dismissive of therapy? And of course she said, yeah, no, she just to take her problems to God in prayers and da 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 and da 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 da. Now, I'm a Christian. I believe everything I stand for has to be God related. I feel like sometimes I even have the God factor too much or too less or whatever. But I'm a strong believer. But I just wanted to talk about why I feel like therapy is a good idea as a black girl or for black people. I moved to Canada, just a background of who I am. I moved to Canada at the age of 17, and a lot of people that I know now, I realized that also moved at that age because you move when you want university and stuff like that. But I moved to Canada at the age of 17, and this was almost 6 years ago. While I was back home, I stayed in boarding school all my life, so pretty much I go home only during the holidays and stuff like that. But I had a very present mom. I still do. I have a very present mom. My mom is that mom that would ask you, what do you have in your fridge? Do you have food? Do you not have food? My mom is very present. But that doesn't take away the fact that she is a single mom and she could only do so much. So as a kid, there are certain times I would feel like certain things are missing. Sometimes I would feel really good, and sometimes I didn't even think about it. I didn't even know something was missing, and to be honest, I didn't even care. So now I moved to Canada, and now I moved by myself. I live by myself. I do things by myself. Now I had to figure out finances. I had to figure out getting a job. I wanted to go to school, but at the time I couldn't start school due to some reasons. And a lot of these things did affect me mentally. Now, I wasn't raised in such a, oh, tell people about your problems, or, oh, yeah, you have to admit you have a problem, or, oh, I don't know how I feel about this glue, but it's not the first time I'm using it. So I'm gonna try it. I say all of that to say, and this is no way in shape or form saying that I didn't have a perfect growing up. As a matter of fact, I felt like I had it good. I felt like I had everything I wanted. I had uncles that when I cried, they would show up at school any day, anytime. So this is not to say my childhood wasn't perfect. This is to say that when I did move and started living by myself, now a lot of the things that I never thought were wrong were things that were pretty traumatic, and my response to trauma was pretty much different. I realized that I am that person when I hear the sight of problem, I most times the first thing that I think in my head is, how do I flee this situation? Cause I'm not about to deal. I just cannot deal. And obviously you start working, you start calling people, your coworkers at work, you start calling them friends, and things just keep happening and happening. And for me, obviously, I didn't have anybody in the Western world to explain to me what was going on. But even when I held on to God, and even times when I would cry out to God in prayer, it always felt like I wasn't dealing with my problems. It always just felt like I was masking them in denial. It always felt like I was doing the flight thing. I would always literally run away from my problems. I did have a job one time, and somebody at work was talking about how, oh, do you know our insurance covers this? Do you know I'm just waiting for this to get tacky. Do you know our insurance covers therapy? Do you know? I was like, somebody's paying for therapy and I'm not in therapy. So I went into therapy with the mindset of, I just want to make use of my insurance. That was my own plan for going into therapy. But I went in therapy and I realized, damn. Damn. No, I asked this person, a friend of mine, why do you think, or why do you not consider therapy a good option? She's like, first of all, it's just expensive for somebody to tell you what you already know. Second of all, she's like, she doesn't think it's for her because she doesn't know how to talk about, like, at the end of the day, they won't give her a solution. She's just going to tell somebody her problem for the person not to give her a solution. I'm like, but why and how do you think because somebody knows your problem, they have a solution for you? Because most times, even when we tell our parents what we're going through, at times it's not even to get a solution. Sometimes it's just, I want to rant type thing. And you rant along. They let you rant along. Now, when I cut this hair the first time, I was pretty bad with cutting laces. Now I feel like I would have done a better job, but the quality of the hair is amazing, and I can't just forfeit the hair because I messed up. So this is me trying to fix the problem anyhow. I know. Oof. But yeah, I was like, why do you think because somebody knows your problem, they should have a solution for you? And she goes, well, they're the professionals. Why on earth then am I paying them? I'm like, I understand you, and I'm not saying therapy is a solution to every man's problem. If therapy does provide solution to everybody's problem, I feel like the moment you have a problem, the first thing you should think about as a person is, okay, let me go seek the professionals, and they will fix my problem. But for me, one of the reasons why I absolutely love therapy, because of the fact that there are so many things that you can handle as a person, and you think you're fine. Well, a lot of us do the denial thing where we like to believe we're fine, which is not a bad thing. It just helps you mentally to deal with a lot of stuff with the fact that but have you ever thought about the fact that, like, what if I'm not fine, and what if I'm just constituting nuisance to the population? I'm not saying you're constituting nuisance. I'm just saying, what if you're hurting somebody? What if you're in a relationship and you're traumatizing someone without even knowing that you're traumatizing someone? What if you're in college and you said something to somebody because of how you feel that particular day, and you're scarring somebody? So for me, I say all of this to say, nobody knows it all, especially if you do not have a support system where you talk about how you feel. If you do not have a support system where you talk about how you deal with things that are happening in your life, I think therapy is a great option. I think therapy brings you out of your own selfish ones, the whole denial and acceptance, and therapy just helps you get one step farther from getting your feelings in check and all of that good stuff. Now, I feel like every time I've had therapy, it wasn't because I was going through something. That is what people misconcept therapy for. I feel like people think every time people say they're going in therapy, oh my god, you're going through something. What are you going through? Tell me, let me know. But it's not always I'm going through something. Sometimes I still do therapy because therapy has helped me learn a lot of stuff about myself. And I feel like I'm still on a journey of learning more stuff about myself. So this is gonna be the hard part. I just genuinely feel like, sorry. Okay, now it's getting stuck. I just feel like therapy has taught me so much about myself that if I ever get a chance to pay for therapy or to pay, right now I use school insurance because of recent I went back to therapy. I just was feeling very overwhelmed, and a lot of the times I would wake up and feel like I just want to go back to bed. I didn't feel like, lately I've been feeling like, in a nutshell, lately I've been feeling like when I wake up, I just want to go back to bed. When I wake up, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sleep. And coming from somebody that I know myself to be very active, I know myself to be very involved in the things that are going on in my life. I'm not outgoing, but when it's time to talk about my brand, I am on it. When it's time to create content for my brand, I'm on it. Then I became this person that anytime I think about my brand, I just want to sleep. Because I was feeling so overwhelmed, and at some point the feeling of, is this going to succeed? Is this going to be the thing I'm going to do for the rest of my life? It crippled on me so much that I did not know my brain was trying to give up before my body gave up. Eventually my body gave up, and that was me waking up and not feeling like doing anything. So my brain did give up on me, my body did give up on me. Of recent I went back in therapy to talk about why I love doing what I do in the first place and why it is not an option to give up. While a lot of people have that person in their lives that acts as therapist without them knowing, not everybody has that. Like I said, I came to this country at the age of 17. And while my mom can be such a great person and try to help me, like if I say I'm going through this, my mom would literally try to help me. There's only so much she can do considering the fact that she's an African parent. If you know, you know. And aside that, I'm in a Western world where the things that happens to you it's totally different from what goes on back home. It really is. It really is. And I just needed a medium to talk about how I feel and have process how I feel. Because left to me, if I talk about how I feel and I start to see like, okay, this is getting too much, I'm gonna run away from that problem. I'm gonna do something. I just don't know. But therapy, you stop doing the denial thing. Because if you keep denying how you feel and you're trying to feel better, you're trying so hard to feel better, and you're denying and you're masking all of that pain, therapy has a talent of helping you know, girl, you are trying to mask your pain. Therapy helps you admit that something is wrong. And for me personally, that alone is enough for me to be like, okay, I'm this person. I need to avoid this. I need to avoid that so that I don't get to the place that I don't want to be in. Okay, I'm just gonna give an example. There was a time I thought my mom was just being very difficult with me because, not necessarily because she's an African parent, I thought because my brother was her favorite. I used to think that all my life. I really used to think, oh, my brother is my mom's favorite, yada yada yada. There's nothing I can do, da 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 da. But when I got in therapy, I realized that in some way, in some very funny way, she's harder on me, which people are usually harder on the son, but she's harder on me because the parts that she's gone through as a woman, she absolutely does not want that for me. So she's doing the mama bear thing and she's like squishing so tight, not wanting to let me go, and I feel like I was suffocated. Now, therapy helped me understand that it is not her intention to actually suffocate me. She's just trying to give me a warmth hug. Even if it's still difficult, and even if sometimes we still have to talk through things, okay, mom, please don't do this, okay, mom, do this. In general, it just helped me better. Also, therapy has helped me to not run away from my problems. You can't always run away from your problems. So when I'm going through stuff, I let myself go through it instead of trying to jump over it. Therapy has also taught me to be very kind to myself. In a world where a lot of people look at you and be like, oh, you're this, or you're that, or you don't make sense, or you're worthless, or there's somebody better than you, therapy was the first thing. Therapy helped me realize that I actually matter, and a lot of the conversation I've had with my therapist concludes that I can be the most difficult person on myself because I want the best for myself. But at the same time, I can tend to hold on to what people say about me. I don't care about what they say, but it sticks in my brain about what they say. And I feel like this person should know what they're talking about because they said it. But people don't necessarily know what they're saying because they said it. Just doesn't make me right that I'm talking about therapy for a black girl because our childhoods were totally different and our upbringing were totally different. And what I'm saying doesn't make sense to you. And that's okay. But therapy made me know that that's okay. We don't always have to be right and things can just always go wrong. But yeah, so if you ever get the chance to do therapy, as a black girl who has gone through therapy, highly recommend. I'm not saying you should remove your faith and focus on therapy. At the end of the day, God is the best listener. But you also have to heal, and God is not going to come down from heaven and heal you. He is going to give you tools to help you heal. He's going to send people that have healed to help you heal. Is also going to create means to help his children heal. And I feel like therapy is one of those mediums where God has created to help his children deal with stuff. So that is that. I just wanted to get that off my chest, and hopefully this video is not too long. But thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. I am planning to be way more active on this app, but I'm just doing my best right now, and I will just pop in once in a while, pop out once in a while, and I'll see you in the next video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. You mean the world to me, and it's just, I don't know how to do this. It just makes me happy that you're watching.